Yo, so I decided to do like one of those, one of the little mock drafts real quick. And very interesting. I feel like if the Philadelphia Eagles draft the way I drafted, I feel like that we will be able to fix a bunch of problems that we have. So the first pick, obviously, I went with Henry Ruggs because CeeDee Lamb was gone, Jared Jeudy was gone, and Henry Ruggs would probably be the third best wide receiver that fits what we need. The wide receiver pool is so deep, I was able to grab KJ Hamler in the second round. So, I mean, you got a punt returner and you got a guy with legendary speed out of your first two picks, The wide receiver problem solved. Linebacker, Akeem Davis-Gaither. Beast. Oh my God, this is a beast. He's also going on the draft board. Philly 500 will be talking to you guys about this later when I send him that video. And then I was able to pick up some positions of need. Nick Coe out of the edge. Cornerback. I did cornerback in the fourth round. DeMarcus Acey. Linebacker again in the fourth round. We got three fourth round picks. Safety. So I was able to go cornerback, linebacker, and safety in the fourth round. In the fifth round, I went back to cornerback. Sixth round, back to cornerback. Sixth round, back to defensive line. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks. If we keep all 10 of our picks, the Philadelphia Eagles have the opportunity to come out looking like this. Wide receiver is so deep. I could honestly see the Philadelphia Eagles trading one of these fourth round picks to move up, trading like a fourth and a third. You know what I mean? I can see it happening because you got multiples of both picks. I mean, if they draft like this, like I just drafted, I think the problems will be solved. I mean, this is a pretty solid draft. If Hobby was to come out looking like this, I wouldn't be mad at all. What you think? Do I think the Philadelphia Eagles can change the temperature of the team through the draft? I absolutely do. And my mock draft proves that. Because, you can't judge what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go based upon what everybody else is doing. It's going to take a group effort if the Philadelphia Eagles want to draft that good. It's going to take a group effort. You're talking about a team that's walking into this season with about $41 million in cap space. That puts them at about 20th in the NFL. Everybody gonna have money next season. That's all that means to me. Every team is gonna have some money to spend when free agency rolls around. No team will have that great of an advantage over anybody else. Now, sure, the Philadelphia Eagles could free up more space, but that comes with letting go of more people, thus creating more holes that you need to fill. I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles got to let go of that many people. Now, some people are going to let themselves go regardless. You know what I mean? Nelson Aguilar, Ronald Darby, guys like that. They've already solidified where they're going to be. I'd be surprised if either one of them gets another contract coming back. But the Philadelphia Eagles have to take a hard look in the mirror. Who do we want to be? Do we want to be a team that's going to key in on one player in the first round and get rid of our picks? Or are we going to draft some young players and develop them? Because you got the picks to make something happen. You got the number of picks to make something happen. The Philadelphia Eagles must start hitting on their first round picks. The Philadelphia Eagles must start letting their first round picks play. Because I think they're going to bring Jason Peters back, thus stunting the growth of Dillard. Now, a lot of people are talking about, all these big names that the Philadelphia Eagles are looking at. Everybody that deletes their social media, the Philadelphia Eagles fan base does the same thing. We do the same thing. We're all guilty of it. We make it seem like we're actually going to have these people like Stephon Diggs, Darius Slay. We're not the only ones with money. We're not the only team that's a borderline contender that's on the cusp. We not. You talking about a guy coming from Detroit. They don't got no Super Bowl legacy over there. He'll go anywhere. You talking about a guy coming from Minnesota. They don't got nothing to do with the Super Bowl. He'll go play for Simon Gratz, T.C. Williams. They'll go play for anybody that got any resemblance of winning something. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't happening where they at. Now, one free agent that I really like that we're not talking about. Now, this is the type of guy that we can get. Because Darius Slay, Robbie Anderson, and Stephon Diggs, let's face it, they might be moving somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't the only ones with bread. I like Breshad Perriman. Now you're talking about a guy that had 36 catches, 645 yards, I believe, and I think somewhere like 4 to 6 touchdowns or something like that. Dude was a third option to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Dude was nasty, bruh. 645 receiving yards. That leads us. That leads us by 200 plus. He's the best receiver on the Philadelphia Eagles with a stat line like that. I think you go after that guy. I think he's going to be fairly cheap. I hate using the word cheap because we always being cheap in Philly, but I think you go after that guy. You know what I'm saying? I think you go after that guy with aggressiveness. You know what I mean? I don't think you waste your time trying to get other people. I think you be aggressive in getting Breshad Perriman and then drafting at the position. The Philadelphia Eagles have to get this right. You cannot waste Carson Wentz's glory years. That contract about to kick in. Every year that extension kicks in for Carson Wentz, got to be, in my opinion, NFC Championship game or bust. That's what you pay these guys for, man. That's what you pay these guys for, man. So you know, I don't want next offseason to come around and we're here making excuses for the poor job that the scouting team and the front office did. Because if I can, and I think I drafted well. I think I hit on the first, second, and third round in my mock draft. If I can do that, I think the scouting team got their work cut out for them, man. Let me know what you think in the comments.